Today I did something I never thought I would ever do, and that's buy a brand new car, let alone a brand new Tesla. But there's a handful of reasons why I decided to do it and why I feel like it was still a good decision. Maybe you can consider some of the things I considered. First things first, I have a long commute. We live in a location that we really love, and I happen to work far away from where I live. And that's great and all, but with a long commute can sometimes come traffic, and Teslas are a really, really good car to have when there's traffic, especially with a long commute. So the biggest thing that really forced me to think about this was the fact that I live far away from my work. Now, I always thought how nice it would be to have a car that has, adaptive cruise control, some steering assist, stuff like that I really would appreciate, as well as something that's electric and, I can save some fuel savings on as well. But as far as why I emotionally chose to get this Model 3, here's why. Real quick, I got the Tesla Model 3 2023 rear wheel drive. If you don't know anything about Teslas, that basically means I got the cheapest of the cheap Tesla that has a meh sound system. It is only rear wheel drive. It has the worst range. It goes 270 miles per charge, which is if you're not using the AC and you're driving 55 miles an hour, whatever the EPA says. So the range is good enough for me. I mean, I'm not gonna, drive more than 100 miles in a commuting workday. And 100 miles is a lot, but I don't need 270, but it will be good to have. I think autopilot is really nice. And when there's stop and go traffic, there's two things. One, you don't have to do anything. The car is gonna drive for you. It's gonna stop and go. You don't have to worry about that. But number two, in stop and go traffic, you can use regenerative braking and get even more fuel efficient drive. Basically, if there's ever traffic, there's a silver lining to all traffic. I'll get better electricity efficiency in the Tesla. But yeah, the saving money on gas and autopilot really are the two main reasons why I'm getting it. Also, I'm getting a Tesla because they're cool, I'm not gonna lie. The real big decision for me came to, should I get a brand new Tesla? Which, if you know me, all I've ever driven is my 2006 Honda Accord that I bought for $5,000. That's rusting on it. It looks like absolute garbage, but man, that thing runs like a champ and I love it. But that's all I've ever driven, used old cars. And driving a new car almost feels evil to do. I mean, that's something that I've never even thought of doing. But the reason I pulled the trigger was because prices dropped, number one, relative to where they were a year before, but also the tax credit. Now the tax credit, if you're watching this video in 2024 or beyond, I don't know what the tax credit brings in the future, but I do know that the tax credit is subject to be cut in half in the end of 2023. Maybe prices will go down with it and this won't be the best decision ever, but all I know is the tax credit is here now and I wanted to take it in 2023, and then the prices dropped a little bit and I was able to scoop up a Tesla for about $37,800. There's some fees on top of that, so that's not out the door what you're buying it for, but that's the sticker, the tag, the sticker price that I got it for, minus the tax credit, basically walked out the door for just over 30 grand. The car costed me about 30 grand on paper. So overall, still really expensive. But when you see someone driving a Tesla Model 3, if you don't know Teslas that well, it's hard to know if they spent 30 grand or 60 grand. I mean, there's a spectrum of how much you can upgrade it. And I got the most basic of the most basic because it was really the most I could justify anyways. Anyways, that tax credit was one of the ultimate reasons that I decided to get the new one. I was looking at some used ones, and you could scoop up a used one with about 60,000 miles, a 2018 Model 3, which is the same body as the 2023. And now I know the Tesla Project Highland, kind of the facelift of the Model 3 is coming out. I'm not all that interested in it. I actually don't really care. I'm perfectly fine with driving an older model once that one comes out. But my point is the 2018 model and the 2023 basically are the same. Personally, I drive about 15,000 miles a year. 15,000 miles is 4 years of driving. And so what I'm saying is, am I gonna drive this brand new Tesla for 4 years longer than I drive the used one? And I think the odds of that are yes. And so the main thing is this Tesla, I think I can justify buying. So yeah, I'm sure my reasons are similar to most people. And if you stuck around this long, I'm really excited to receive it on this next week. And I'll be posting a video of what I like and how my experience was. But overall, that's why I decided to buy a new Tesla.